Hello guys, कैसे हैं आप सब? So in the previous video we have talked about the aspects of Mauryan architectures. In the first video we have talked about the Mauryan royal palaces. In the second video we have dealt with Mauryan pillars or Sokan pillars. So this is the third and the last part of the video, and in this video we will talk about the other aspects of Mauryan architecture, that is popular art. तो आइए शुरू करते हैं मॉडर्न आर्किटेक्चर्स को। अगर आप इस चैनल पर नए हैं तो इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब जरूर करें। इफ़ यू आर न्यू ऑन दिस चैनल प्लीज सब्सक्राइब दिस चैनल्स एंड हिट द बेल आइकन बटन. So we will deal with other aspects of modern architectures, and we will deal popular architecture. So in the first video we have talked about these aspects. Yeah, we have seen modern palaces, and in the second video we have dealt with Ashokan pillars, and in this video we will talk about the other aspects of modern architectures, like we will deal with popular art. So under popular art we have seen caves, pottery, sculptures, and various other kinds of architectures. Temples also includes. Okay, but we will see. Let's start. Yeah, when we talk about modern architectures under popular art, we have caves, sculptures, and other things. So let's talk about the cave architectures. So when we talk about caves, caves comes under popular art. The first thing, no, the modern period, also saw the development of rock art architectures. Now, what is rock cut architecture? So, rock cut architecture is a structures created by the carving out of solid rock. Earlier we found natural caves. In the prehistoric times, we found natural caves, but when we when it comes to modern period, these caves are man-made. So this is man-made caves, and this is rock cut architectures. That means it is carved out of a single solid rocks. So when we say single, then it will be called monolithic. Okay, the monolithic structures, and hence this rock cut architectures is also known as monolithic structures or monolithic architectures. So the first aspect is that the modern period also saw a rock cut architecture, development of rock cut architecture. No, this the name of rock cut architectures, basically it is caves, and this cave is known as Baravar Hill Caves. And no, this Baravar Hill Caves is the oldest surviving rock curve architectures. So oldest surviving rock cut architectures is Baravar Caves. Okay, and we have found 4 caves in Baravar Hills. So Baravar Hills lies in Bihar, and we have found 4 caves. Like there is one cave Karan Chopra, and another is Lomas Rishi caves. We have found Sudama caves, and other is Bishwa Jhopri. Okay, Jhopri. And among these all, Sudama caves and Lomas Rishi caves are one of the prominent caves. Okay, so and we found cave architectures at Nagarjuni Hills also, and same like Baravar Hills, Nagarjuni Hills, contains caves. Okay, and these caves are Gopika. Basically, this is a Gopika caves, lies in the Nagarjuni Hills in Bihar, and also there is a Vadathi ka Kuha. Okay, this is one of the caves, Vadathi ka Kuha and Vapya ka Kuha caves. So there are 3 caves. Okay, in the Nagarjuni Hills. Okay, and the first is Gopika, second is Vadithi ka Kuha, and third is Vapya ka Kuha caves. So this is rock cut architectures, and this is caves. Now we will see, as I have mentioned, 2 caves are very famous caves because of its carvings, and we found the inscription as well there. So we will see Lomas Rishi cave first. So here you can see this is Lomas Rishi caves. So here what we found, it is known for its ornamental carving. So here you can see this is Lomas Rishi caves, and there is an entrance Here you can say there's a two chamber entrance. This is one, another is okay outside inside this entrance. There is also one entrance inside this. So there are two entrance first things. And we also found this is relief panel. Okay, this is set up two relief panel, and it is all embedded with finite carvings. So there is a it's known for a carving. And uh, and the third aspect is that here you can say arc. This is arc. Here you can say semi spherical type. So this is known as arc, and this arc is called chaitya arc. Chaitya arc, and it is also known as gavaks. So this is one of the aspects. There are two chambers. One is here, and there is also one chambers inside this. And there here you can say set up relief carving. So there are two set of relief carving. One is here, as one is above, just above this. So there are two sets of relief carvings. And what we found is here is that arc. Arc is known as chaitya arc, and this chaitya arc is found in various places. We will also see when we dealt with the architectures of other period. So this is chaitya arc, and this is gavaks, also known as gavak arc. No, this arc is like a horseshoe. This arc is also resembles with the horseshoe. So this is one aspects. Okay. And other is Sudama caves. And in the Lomas Rishi caves, basically other aspect is that we found Ashokan inscription here also. Inside this caves, we found Ashokan inscription which is engraved on the wall. And when we talk about wall, here you can see the wall is totally polished. My mind blowing. The wall is totally polished. And we have seen mirror polish in. We will see mirrored polish in later architectures. So in this caves, there is a the wall is polished. Okay. And we will see Ashokan inscription here also. And these caves basically donated by the Ashoka to Ajivikas. So basically, Ajivika was a sect, one of the sects in the contemporary of Buddha and Mahavira, or we can say Buddhism or Jainism. And basically, this sect believe in predeterministic theory, because everything is predetermined. Okay. And we are subject to the law of natures. Okay. And he rejected the authority of Buddha. So this is some details about Ajivikas. When we talk about Buddhisms in later videos, we will see what are the philosophical aspects of Ajivikas. This is totally Ajivika sect is known for other aspects also. And it is said that this sects you can say promoted materialistic cultures in that period. So we will see Ajivika sect later on. Anyway, but here we found that Ashoka donated these caves, that is Lomas Rishi caves, basically to Ajivika sect. Okay. And apart from Lomas Rishi caves, we found Sudama caves. No, this Sudama caves lies in Varavar caves. And this under and in Sudama caves there is also Ashokan inscriptions, and which reflect the 28 regnal year of Ashoka of reigns. So Sudama caves also bears inscriptions of Ashoka reigns. So it clearly points out that these caves were donated by the Ashokas, and these caves were commissioned during the reign of Ashoka. So this is all about cave architectures, and this is rock cut architectures. And Barabar caves is known for the you can say relief carvings, and this is the oldest surviving rock cut architectures in India. And one thing about cut architecture is that we have found more than 1500 rock cut architectures across different places. So in India, we found varieties of rock cut architectures and with its finite carving. So, but when we deal with the rock cut architectures, we will see the characteristic features of rock cut. But anyway, and we are so there are various rock cut architectures like Ellora Caves is known for rock cut architectures. Kelasnath temples, and there are various caves in the southern parts of India. We found rock cut architectures. So anyway, but this Marawar caves and Nagarjuni caves are known for rock cut architectures, and these caves are built during the period of Mauryan. So this is one aspect. No. Other thing is that stupas. So stupas comes under popular art. So the thing about stupa is that we generally know that Sanchi stupa, but the thing is that in Sanchi there are various caves. So in Sanchi there are various stupas. So there in Sanchi, the one of the prominent stupa is stupa number one, or it also known as Great Stupa. Basically, it lies in Raisan district of Madhya Pradesh. Okay, and we have also found many shrines, monasteries, and various structures in Sanchi. But basically we say Sanchi stupa, but it is not so. In Sanchi we have various stupas, and when we say Sanchi stupa, we refer Great Stupa number one, or also known as also known as stupa number one. So and if there is a stupa number one, then we also found stupa number two, three, and this stupa number two and three are not very much famous, but stupa number one is very much famous. Okay, and the diameter of the stupa is 60 feet. Okay, this is Great Stupa. Okay, and also known as stupa number one, and the diameter, you can say diameter is 60 feet. Diameter is 60 feet. Okay, 60 feet. Okay, and let's talks about the various aspects of stupa. Like we have dealt with Mauryan pillars or Ashokan pillars, and we have seen various aspects. Now when it comes to stupa, here you can see this is railings. So this is outside railings, and this outside railing is known as Vedika. This is also an enclosure wall. Okay, and basically, and this railing encloses whole stupa. So the first thing is that this is enclosure wall, also known as railings, and the other name of railing is Vedika. So one point is that this is known as Vedika. No, there is a above railing, and here you can say Pradakshina path or ambulatory passage. So this is also a railing, and this is upper railing above this enclosure wall, and this is for ambulatory passage, or also known as Pradakshina path. You will see what is Pradakshina path. Okay, and this is known as Medhi. So this is two aspects, Medhi. So Medhi, as a it's a very good name, Medhi. Okay, anyway, this is Medhi. Now there are four gateways, and gateway is known as Toran. Okay, here you can see only one gateway, that is known as Eastern Gateway. But beside this, there is also one gateway, a Western Gateway, and here you can see Northern and Southern Gateway. There are four gateways, and these gateways are also four cardinal point, or in transpoint you can say. And this gateway basically depicts the life stories of Buddhas and Jatakas as well. So this is gateway, also known as Toran. This is Medhi. This is Vedika, or enclosure wall. Now, and no, here you can see a spherical dome. Here you can see big spherical dome, and this spherical dome is known as Anda. Okay, it is known as Anda. Anda means egg. Okay, yeah. And above this spherical dome or Anda, here you can see semi-spherical at the top, known as Hermika, and on the pedestal of Hermika there is a three umbrellas or chhatris. Okay, here you can see chhatris 1, 2, 3. There are three chhatris, and and it lies on the pedestal of Hermika. Okay, this is Hermika. This is at the top of the Anda. So this is one aspects. This is all about the, and and this gateway is totally, carving various aspects and the life stories of Buddha, and we found various stories of Buddhas which is depicted here, you know uh, this is one aspect. And about this stupa, basically this stupa was vandalized by Pushyamitra Sunga, and that Pushyamitra Sunga also destroyed Mauryan Empire, it is said that, and he killed last emperor of Asuka, sorry, last emperor of Mauryan Empire known as Dasratha, and Pushyamitra Sunga killed Dasratha. So and this stupa was also vandalized by the Pushyamitra Sunga, but his son Agnimitra, who rebuilt this stupa, and later on Satvahana also contributed in building this stupa. So there is also a accretion or addition in stupas, in Sanchi stupas or stupa number one or great stupa. So this is one aspect. Earlier, this was wooden car, wooden railing, and it was built during the times of Sunga period. Okay, and we also found stone railings here. Okay, this is all about stupa. Now let's talk about other aspects of architectures like Bharut stupa. Okay, uh, no the no, the Sanchi stupa is famous for gateways or toran, and this Bharut stupas famous for railings. So here you can say this is railings, and this railings contains medallions. Here it is medallions, and this medallions bears images of Greeks warriors, stories of Buddhas, Jatakas, and also we found yakshas and motifs. So this is about the contents of Bharut stupa. So, and here you can also see late devotee also known as Upasaka, you know so this is Bharut stupa, and Bharut stupa is famous for railings, and and in the medallions we also found donors, and donors. So this is about also about Bharut stupa. No, the I have talked about the various Greek warriors. Here you can say warriors. So this was Greek warriors or Yavana warriors, and here you can say hairband, and this Yavana warriors put on hairband, so sorry, headband, and here you can say short hair. Okay, and there is also turban, and he wore turban, tunic, and boots, whatever you call. No, this is sword, you know sword, and this sword is known as Nandi Panha, and this Nandi Panha is basically a Buddhist symbol, you know Nandi Pada. Okay, so this is Nandi Pada or sword, and this Nandi Pada was Buddhist symbol, and it is said that he is standing, in Dwarpal or guardian of the gateways, and so this Greek or Yavan warriors reflected in the medallions of Bharut stupa. So this is about Bharut stupa. Okay, we will see other aspects of Mauryan architectures. Okay, so here it is rock sculptures at Dholi. So Dholi, we found rock sculptures at Dholi. Basically, Dholi lies in Odisha, or in basically Odisha's capital Bhubaneswar. Okay, and we also found Dholi inscriptions of Asoka. So just to make Dholi inscriptions famous, so Asoka built rock sculptures at Dholi. So because so that people draw attentions towards the Dholi inscriptions. So basically we found a stone elephant at Dholi, and basically it was uh, donated by the local craftsmen, and regarding stupa, we have also seen that this stupas was donated by the merchant class or wealthy class peoples, guilds, and craftsmen, local craftsmen. So similar like this here, this for the commissioning of these sculptures, local craftsmen also contributed in this. So here you can say this is rock rock cut architectures. Here you can see the pictures or the portrait of elephant. So the rock sculptures at a Dholi, and this is very impressive one. And okay, and its purpose was probably to draw attention to the inscriptions nearby. Basically, I have said there was a Dholi inscription as well. So we have seen rock sculptures at Dholi, at Odisha. Okay, and here you can say elephant trunk is lies outside. There is a elephant and the faces of this elephant is totally broad or impressive one, and it totally made out of rock. So this is marvelous. This is stupendous. So this is about sculptures at Dholi. Now apart from this all, we found various sculptures including yakshini. Okay. No, and this yakshini found in Patna, Mathura, and other places as well. And basically, yaksha was a class of nature spirit, and this yaksha was venerated in Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. Okay, so this is about yaksha. We will see other aspects yaksha as well. Now this yaksha is different from god, devas, asuras, gandharvas, or apsaras. Basically this yaksha was attendant of kuber, which is known as god of wealth. So and he was attendant of god Kuber, and this yaksha is also related with the fertility. Okay, and we found yaksha at Parkham. Parkham basically lies in Uttar Pradesh, and basically the Parkham yaksh is Manibhadra. Manibhadra basically a deity. It is a deity, and also known as god of property. And it is said that this Manibhadra was the son of Kuber. So we found yaksha, Parkham yaksh, also known as Manibhadra, in Mathura. Basically, it is located in presently Mathura Museum. So this is about yaksha sculptures, and this is Mauryan sculptures. We have seen Dholi sculptures at Odisha or Bhubaneswar, and now this is yaksha sculptures at Parkham, or also known as Parkham sculptures, or we can say Manibhadra yaksha at Parkham. So this is about yaksh. No, about Dakshini. So Dakshini, unlike Yaksha, this Yakshi or Yakshini, whatever we can call, is a female earth spirit, and okay, and this is also a symbol of fertility. So this is also a symbol of fertility, and it is venerated in Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. Okay, basically it is not only regarded or worshipped as in single god, single religion. So we have seen that this was worshipped in three religion basically, and this is female counterpart of yaksha. And this yakshis were important in early Buddhist monuments and as a decorative element. Okay, basically yakshi was seen as a decorative element, and it is basically we found this on the basically royal gateway. Okay, just to just as a decorative element. So this is about yakshi, and we found one of the world prominent yakshi is Didarganj yakshi. And when modern sculptures comes, the Didarganj yakshini, you know mm, seen as a one of the finest architectures in the Indian, in modern period, or in India as well. So this is Didarganj Yakshi, and this about the Didarganj Yakshi there are various details we will see also. No, this Didarganj Yakshi is freestanding Yakshi, and she hold Chori, or also Flavix, and basically as I have mentioned, basically this Yakshi usually spotted on gates of Hindu and Buddhist temples. So the features of this Yakshi is that we found voluptuous figures, okay, of this Yakshi, and it is freestanding sculptures, and it reflects the feminine beauty. Here you can say, Mang. Here you can say Mang. Here you also can see Tika and voluptuous figures. So and this is polish. This is totally polish, and this is known as mirror. Modern polish, and this is mirrored polish. So I was talking about when I was talking about Barawar caves. I have talked about modern polish similar like this here. This is Didarganj Yakshini, and Didarganj Yakshini is totally embedded with the modern polish. This is mirror polish also. So this is totally marvelous. So this is Yakshini, and this reflects all the feminine aspects of women. Okay, and here you can see this is Yakshini, and this Yakshini or Yakshi is also quoted as Indian Mona Lisa. One thing about Yakshi is that her smile is elusive, okay, and whatever angle from you will see, whatever angle or ornament orientation you will see, and whether you will see from happy mood, you will found that her smile is elusive. But if you will see from sad angles, then you will find Yakshi is saddest. So and her face is sad. So this is about Diyar Ganjakshani, and this is also known as Indian Mona Lisa. This is quoted as Indian Mona Lisa. So other aspects of sculptures is that we found Vadrasan, stone slab at Mahabodhi temple in Bihar. So here you can say this is Vadrasan stone slabs. Okay, this is Vadrasa stone slabs, and this belongs to modern period, and this is you know found in Bodh Gaya temple, Bihar. So this is about this is other sculptures. Okay, this belongs to modern period. So and we also found yakshis. Apart from Yakshi, we also found yakshis at Besnagar, also called Besnagar Yakshi, and Besnagar is situated in Bidisa district of Madhya Pradesh. So, but one aspect of yakshi is that um, at RVI entrance, headquarters, we found Yakshi, and this Yakshi depicts the prosperity through agriculture. So here you can see the importance of Yakshi, and this is situated at RBI entrance. Okay, and other aspect is that under popular art we found temples, though we don't find large temples built by the Asuka or his successive rulers, but we found the development of basically temples in the Gupta period. But though anyway, we also found temples during modern period, and this temple is basically circular bricks, or timber shrines, and this is situated at Bharat, or basically this Bharat is located in Rajasthan. So this is here you can see ambulatory passageway, and this was circular bricks. Okay, and apart from this Bharat district of Jaipur, and which is present in Rajasthan. So we also found temple number 1440, Okay, and this temple number 40 is dated uh, to Mauryan period. Okay, so this is about temples. Okay, and no, apart from all these temples and sculptures, other aspects of architectures is that various terracottas we found. No, Mauryan period is known as terracotta. Also, we found a northern black polysphere. So, so about terracotta and all the things, we found torso, and we also found torso in Harappan period. You know, and similar like Harappan period, we found torso in modern period as well. So that this basically this torso is male torso and at Lohanipur, and this is also known as Lohanipur torso. Okay, here you can see totally and it depicts the how the craftsman's or one who built this torso, and he have this shows that he had a totally a marvelous knowledge about the human body. So this shows uh, about their knowledge of human body and other aspects of human also. So this is male torso found at Lohanipur, and known as Lohanipur torso. And apart from this, we also found carved ring stones. So here you can see this is ring stones. Basically, this is resembles like donut. Okay, this is carved ring stones. We also found dicks. Here it is dicks. Apart from all the temples and sculptures, we found dicks. So and dicks we found dicks at dicks and all the ring stones at Takchila, Mathura, Besali, and Rajghat and other places of India. So this is about Mauryan Mauryan architectures. This is ring stones. Okay, and this is totally fine art carvings embedded with carvings. This is a dicks. So here you can see motif, some kind of design motif in this. Here you can also see design motif in rings, stones. So and also terracotta figures. So this is terracotta figurines, and how this terracotta figurines expanded. Basically, it was resulted due to expansion of urban cultures and advancement in agricultures and trading activities, or you can say craftsmanship. So this is aspects. This is about terracotta figurines. Now apart from this is terracotta figurines. Now here you can see elephant terracotta. So this terracotta figures or figurine was of elephant. Basically it was toy. And this is elephant terracotta. Basically this is a toy, and we found this elephant terracotta toy at Mathura. So and so similar like Indus civilizations. We found mother goddess here also. We found mother goddess in Harappan cultures, and similar like Harappan cultures, we found mother goddess in modern period as well. So this belongs to 3rd century BC. Now, apart from other terracotta figurines, we found head of the village deity. Okay, and this belongs to modern period 3rd century BC. Okay, and this is terracotta figurines of monkey, figures of monkey, and this found at Mathura, and this belongs to third and 2nd century BC. So this is about terracotta. We found terracotta as well. This is uh, monkey. This is village deity. And here you can see elephant terracotta. This is a toy. This is a mother goddess. This is a male torso at Lohanipur. This is terracotta figurine. This is dicks and stones, carved ring stones. So this is about basically modern sculptures and architectures. So this this was my last and third part of modern of the main topic, modern architectures. So we will deal various aspects of modern period. like administration, society, okay, and the origins of Mauryas, how Mauryas evolved, their rulers and their extension of empire. So we will see various aspects of Mauryas, and later on we will see Buddhism, Jainism topics, and and we will also see Indus Valley civilizations. But I started my video just from architectures, because I am very fond of architectures. So we will see various aspects of architectures, and other important topics as well. So if you are new on this channel, just subscribe this channels, okay, and please also hit button, okay, and all I want to say, थैंक यू, थैंक यू वेरी मच, एंड आप बने रहिए, और वी विल सी वेरियस एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ यू नो of history. Basically we will see post modern period also. So आप बने रहिए, और just subscribe my channels, and also hit like button, and subscribe these channels, and support me. All I want to say, thank you, and God bless you all. Until next time, take care. Bye bye.